Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this Cucumber training program. In the last class, we studied about how to convert the data using data tables. And in the today's class, I would like to go with parameterization concept. Let me open this Eclipse editor, what we have created yesterday. So if you observe, guys, yesterday, we passed the data within a single line below the step. This concept we can call it as a data table, but my intention is I don't want to pass a single set of data. I would like to run my test script on multiple sets of data. In such a cases, this is not the suggested way to handle this. We need to follow a different approach. Great. Let me create a new step feature file first of all, then we can go for the step definition. So in the feature file, so I'm creating a new file, sf account creation part 2 dot feature. So yesterday we have already created, right? That's the reason I'm creating as a sf creation account part 2 feature. I just created this feature file, and I think the content of whatever we have created is almost one and the same. Hence I'm copying the previously created feature file information and I am pasting here, and I don't want the data which is passing here itself. Okay, the credentials, I don't want that data here, but I want to use it at the bottom. The data whatever I would like to use, I just want to use it at the bottom. Okay, great. So for my future references, what are all the things I need to pass? I just kept it out over here. Let me maximize my Eclipse editor. See here, I'm not writing account creation for Salesforce part 2, right? We are using a parameterization concept. So here, instead of writing this step as a user enter all the details, user enter details. So here, he will enter first name first. So I am adding these greater than and as well as a less than symbols, the variable I'm passing inside that. So here we need to pass the variables. So here in this syntax, see here, within this we need to pass the variable names. Okay, under the greater than and as well as under the less than and as well as the greater than, we need to pass the variable name. So here I have a passed my first name as a variable name and last name and company name. See guys, I don't want to execute my script on these many sets of data. So I just want to run it on a first name, last name and a company name. That's the reason I have a given user enter details, a first name and last name, and or else a first name comma last name and a company name. Okay, so user enter these details. That's it. This is the step whatever I have created. Again, once after we created a step, for sure we need to use a step definition for that. So what I am doing means, from my Chrome browser I'm launching this Teddy Jerkin plugin, from where this step alone I am copying and I am pasting that step here and I'm converting into a Java steps. Let me grab these Java steps. So if you clearly observe here the step definition, dot plus, this is some kind of a regular expression, whatever it is generating. Okay, let me copy this whole method, go back here. In the yesterday's class, we have this method. So below this, I'm placing this one. Okay, so here string first name, string last name, string company name. So this is the today's class method and this is the yesterday's class method. The basic difference between these two is when we are passing the data within a single line below the step, the data will be coming to the method in terms of a data table, we need to get the raw data from that. From there, we need to pick individual values. Whereas whenever we are creating some variables, when we are trying to pass that, the step definition is directly converting into the variables: string first name, string last name, string company name. These are the three different types of strings which it is pulling. And now let me copy the code for the first name, last name, and a company name from the below logic which we have created yesterday. And let me paste it out over here. I don't want to use the values as we are not using values at all. Okay, so and the last one, so this is the one. Okay, this is the one. So here in the first name, I need to pass the first name. In the last name, I need to pass the last name. In the company name, I need to pass this company name. Great, we passed these things. But where we are passing the values, right? So for this first name, last name, and a company name, where we are passing the values. So whenever we are choosing this method, we need to pass the data within the feature file only, using that pipe symbol at the bottom of the feature file. Okay, great. Here I need to pass it in a feature file. I need to pass it here. But one small thing is, whenever we are declaring these variables, excuse me, whenever we are declaring these kinds of keywords in such a scenarios, it's not going to be a scenario, it's going to be a scenario outline. Okay, so when we are planning to pass multiple sets of data, then we need to define it as a scenario outline, not just a scenario. Okay, not just a scenario. Okay, that's it. So I have a defined as a scenario outline. As soon as I define as a scenario outline, immediately feature file, okay, immediately some error messages are displaying in the feature file. So there we need to pass the required data. There we need to pass the required data. So the data should be passed with, see here the error message it is throwing, right? Mouse over on that error message. So mismatched input EOF expecting examples. The meaning is, whenever you have a defined as a scenario outline, we need to define examples wherein which we need to pass. In the first line, we will pass variable names. In the second line, we will pass values to those variables. Okay, let me pass. So start with the pipeline first, and the variable name is a username. Again, okay, so it's not a username, it's a first name. Sorry. So the variable name is a first name. The next variable name is a last name, and the next one is a company name. So these are all the three variables. The data which I need to enter out over here is specified like this. So here, the first name is Chaitu, the last name is okay, the last name is Joseph, and the company name is a freelancer. I passed this much of information. So ultimately, I converted this one into a step definition. That's it. I just created this one. That's it. This is a simple point of what we did right now. Okay, this is the most simplest point what exactly we did right now. Okay, cool. So I just created this file, but somehow the step definition is not recognizing here, right? Somehow the step definition is not recognizing. Okay, let us see why it is not recognizing this step. Okay, so let me mouse over on this. So it's not at all recognizing. Okay, the logic, let me look into the step definition. Okay, we have a given properly, and this is the name of when. Let me paste it here. Let me grab this step definition and let me update it here. You know, whenever it got updated successfully, it should display a hyperlink here, right? See, the hyperlink is not displaying. No step definition found this one. So somehow it is not recognizing this. Okay, so let me close this all once and let me refresh this project and see whether it is still recognizing or not. It's not at all recognizing. Okay, fine. First name, last name, company name. Okay, let me run my test script once. Okay, why it is not recognizing, even I am not sure. So let me run this file and see. Based on that, we can change it. So in the test runner, directly I'm changing this a feature file to. Okay, let me run this. Run as a JUnit test case. It's getting executed as per the first step definition. As per the first step, it will open the application. It will try to enter the credentials, or it will try to open the Salesforce application. And where it is getting failed, let me look into this error message. A Java null pointer exception encountered when the users, these are all the details of feature file part 5. Okay, so some kind of an error message is displaying in a console. So when user is trying for this one, so it is unable to recognize this one. Why? Okay, let me change this step to the previous step. Let me change this one to here once again. I'm just trying to debug the issue. Okay, so why it is not recognizing? I was just trying to debug that. That's it. Okay. Let me try to update it here. Somehow I missed a small step, I think. Scenario outline, even it is not recognizing. User enters. User enters the first name, last name, and the company name. Okay, let me check out this step. Why it is not recognizing. The step definition is appropriate, right? The logic what it generated is appropriate, and somehow it is not recognizing. Where are the step definitions? As of account creation, when. Okay, so this time it is recognizing this. Somehow I removed the spaces. You know, guys, if you remember, since from the day one, we are encountering the issues with the spaces only. When we are trying to enter the spaces only, we are getting the issues, right? So after opening the application, let me wait for some time. Thread dot sleep for some time. So I just want to wait after opening the application, wait for some time, and then next step is this one. Okay, let me try to run this test runner and see how this is going to work this time. And one more modification which I would like to add is, let me write down a command which will maximize my browser. All the time my browser is in a minimized mode. I don't like this. Let me try to maximize my browser. Okay, so we can pass, right? So window maximize, we can use a window maximize the command to maximize the browser. Fine, great. So the script got a failed. Let me look into the issue. So it is stating that step definition, user enter the details SF account creation line 21. So it is having an issue in identifying the username. Yesterday this script got executed successfully, but now this script is unable to execute. Let's see what is the root cause. So here, okay, uh, let me bring it to this and let me identify the properties for this first name. Okay, the ID property is a first name only. That's fine. The class name, the fields name, everything is correct. ID, okay, the property ID. first hyphen underscore a name. We have a given the first name only and the send keys. Okay, so let me try in this way. Okay, so before entering the values, system.out.println. Okay, let me try to print the first name and let us see this. Okay, whether these values are returning or not. Let us try to see this stuff first. Okay, based on that, we can get confirmation. So I would like to comment this one, and I just want to see whether it is printing the required values or not. Okay, let me run my script. So somehow if you observe, it is directly pointing to, okay, so Java null pointer exception. Okay, the Chaitu Joseph got returned to the console. It is retrieving the values. So it's not an issue in retrieving the values. Even it is opening the application also. As soon as it opened the application, it is encountering the issue in performing operations on this particular page. Why? Those objects are displaying on a page, and even we used a valid properties only by dot id and other things. We have a given a valid data only. Somehow it's not working at all. Okay, let us see. Accessing the Salesforce application. Okay, so we passed that URL webdriver.get command and we are trying to execute. Okay, so let me try to run this login page feature. Okay, we have another feature, right? See, our ultimate objective is to identify what is the issue. Okay, that's what we are trying to do. Okay, let me run this class and see whether this feature file is executing or not. Okay, this just executed. Okay, let me open the feature file somehow. Okay, verify the Gmail login functionality. Open SF login feature. So I need to work on SF login feature. So I'm entering SF login in the test runner and let me run my class. It should open the application and it should enter the value. If it this work, that's fine. So there might be issue with that app. If this is not working, there might be an issue with this logic what we have written. So this time it is entering the values, guys, right? So it is performing operations with this particular one, which is the Salesforce login is working, right? So what is the issue with this SF account creation part? Okay, let me rename this one to part to overcome this. I changed this one to part. So it won't create any issues, but wantedly, I just want to see that. So what we are doing in the step definition SF account creation part. So we are opening the application and we are trying to enter, print that information, find element by ID and a send keys. So it's having an issue with an ID and this one. Let me try with the company name and see. Okay, let me try to run this script. Let me try to run this script and see. See, the logic is one and the same. We haven't changed anything else. The method, it is working with the Salesforce application login page, whereas it is not working with this scenario, which is okay. So okay, let me right click on a test runner, run as a JUnit test. Okay, the user operation is awaiting building workspace. Okay, it is trying to build the workspace. Okay, let's wait for a few seconds and see how this is going to execute. Okay, fine. Let us try to re-execute this script. So I don't want to click on my sign up button first of all. And if you observe this particular logic, so we commented to enter the username and a password. Okay, we are asking it to just enter the company name information. Let me try to run this test runner class. So guys, the only thing what it means, So I'm having some issues with the Eclipse workspace. So I just closed my Eclipse editor and I relaunched my Eclipse editor. Apart from that, I haven't did anything else. I just closed my Eclipse editor and I reopened my Eclipse editor, and let's see how this is going to work. So it should enter a company name. See, the freelancer company name value got entered out over here, and the script got executed successfully. Okay, cool. So this is the way how exactly we can pass this information. Okay, this is the way how exactly we can pass this information and how can we execute that. So the ultimate point is we are passing the desired sets of data here under the examples. The basic thumb rule is we need to define this scenario outline for sure. So whenever you would like to enter that particular information, you need to define as a scenario outline. And this time I uncommented the code which will enter the username and a first name and a last name. It executed the first name and a last name. What I am trying to do means the ultimate objective of this particular concept is to pass a multiple sets of data, right? So this is a single data. Let me add a one more line here. So I'm giving my name as Lalita, and here I'm giving it as a Joseph only. Again, I'm giving this as Amazon. Okay, so I have a given two sets of data. Let me try to run my script and see how this is going to work. And prior that, what I would like to do means I just want to maximize my browser. I thought to maximize my browser. So here driver dot manage dot a window dot maximize. This is a WebDriver command to maximize my browser. I just asked it to maximize my browser for a visibility. That's it. It should execute on a two sets of data. The browser got maximized. Of course, it is opening the Salesforce application. It should enter the first set as a Chaitu Joseph and a freelancer once. Okay, so let's see. So Chaitu Joseph, a freelancer, got entered. As we have a given second set of data, it is executing on a new browser. So the ultimate point out over here, which we need to consider is whenever we have a multiple sets of data, this set of data will execute on all the steps, and this set of data will execute on all the steps. If there are 20 sets of data, this data will launch the browser, will perform the operations from the scratch. I can add a one more or two more sets of data. How many sets of data is there? It will launch those many sets of browsers and it will perform those many operations. This is what the bottom line is. So the basic differences between a data table and the parameterization is data table, we just need to pass the data below the step, whereas in the parameterization, we need to change the scenario name as a scenario outline, and the required data, we need to pass it under the examples. How many sets of data is there? This the scenario will execute those many times. This is the bottom line. And one major issue which we are encountering all the time is with the spaces. Whenever there are additional spaces, even though we are writing the step, this is not recognizing that particular step. So from the next lecture, we will make sure that we are not providing any extra spaces in the steps and as well as the step definitions. That's it. So that's all I have, guys. See you again in the next lecture. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.